Most traders believe they fail because of strategy, timing, or market conditions. The truth is far more uncomfortable. The real failure begins in the mind long before a chart is even opened. It happens in the quiet moments when doubt grows stronger than discipline. It begins when a trader knows what to do but cannot bring themselves to do it. This is the invisible battle that destroys more trading careers than any losing streak. A trader can learn every technical skill in the world, yet still crumble under the weight of their own thoughts. Fear attacks from one side. Ego pulls from the other. Pressure builds in the center until decisions turn into reactions instead of choices. That is when mistakes are made. Not because the trader is unskilled, but because their mind is in survival mode. Survival mode does not care about logic. It only cares about escape. It wants relief from the discomfort of uncertainty. The charts are never the real enemy. The market does not punish. It only reflects. What destroys most traders is the internal war they never learned to fight. A war against impatience, insecurity, and the desperate need to prove something. When this conflict grows, trades become emotional bets rather than planned actions. And once emotions take control, the outcome becomes predictable. Failure becomes the default. Yet this battle can be understood. It can be recognized. And once recognized, it can be changed. This journey begins when a trader stops blaming the market and starts studying the mirror. Something important waits ahead. The mind that turns against you. Most traders never notice the moment their own mind becomes the obstacle. It happens quietly. A small fear enters. A small hope grows. A small doubt slips in and begins to shape decisions without permission. At first it seems harmless. Then it becomes a routine. Soon the trader is no longer trading the market. They are trading their emotional state. The mind is built to protect, not to perform. It reacts to uncertainty with caution. It reacts to risk with tension. It reacts to losses with panic. These reactions are natural, yet they become destructive when a trader mistakes them for truth. A nervous thought becomes a signal to exit early. A hopeful feeling becomes a signal to overstay a position. Reason loses its place, and emotion becomes the guide. James has watched many traders fall into this trap. They believed they were thinking clearly, but they were only reinforcing the same mental patterns that kept them stuck. They chased trades to feel in control. They avoided trades to avoid discomfort. Their decisions were not based on structure or probability. They were based on emotional relief. The market exposed this each time. A mind in conflict creates confusion. Confusion creates hesitation. Hesitation creates poor execution. Poor execution creates regret. Regret creates more fear. This cycle repeats until the trader loses confidence in their own ability. At that point, they do not fear the market. They fear themselves. To break this cycle, the trader must understand how their thoughts guide their actions. Awareness becomes the first step toward clarity, and clarity opens the path to a different way of trading. Ahead lies the moment when emotional overload becomes obvious. Emotional overload and internal triggers. Every trader reaches a point where the mind becomes too loud. The pressure builds. The charts blur. The decisions feel heavy. This is emotional overload, and it is one of the strongest forces that cause traders to fail. It is not the loss that hurts the most. It is the meaning the mind attaches to that loss. A small red candle becomes a threat. A small pullback becomes a personal attack. The trader reacts, not because the market is dangerous, but because their emotions have taken control. Internal triggers make this worse. A memory of a painful loss. A belief that success must happen quickly. A fear of missing out. These triggers activate old habits and force the trader into battle with themselves. It turns a simple trade into a fight for validation. It turns a normal drawdown into a crisis. Many traders never learn to recognize these triggers, so they keep reliving the same patterns with new trades. James once faced this same storm. His biggest breakthrough came when he realized he was not reacting to the candle on the chart. He was reacting to the feeling inside his chest. Once he separated the two, the noise began to fade. His trades became clearer. His thoughts became quieter. The market stopped feeling like a threat and started feeling like data. Emotional overload pushes traders into hesitation, revenge trading, overconfidence, and silence. Each reaction is a sign that the inner world is calling for attention, not aggression. The goal is not to fight emotions. The goal is to understand them. A deeper shift is coming in the path to mental freedom. Breaking the mental pattern. Most traders try to fix their results by changing strategies, indicators, or time frames. Yet the real breakthrough begins when they change the patterns inside their mind. A destructive mental pattern is a loop. It repeats the same emotional trigger, the same reaction, and the same regret. To break the loop, the trader must slow it down long enough to see what is really happening. The first step is recognition. A trader must notice the exact moment their breathing changes, their thoughts tighten, or their expectations rise. These small signals reveal when emotion is about to take control. Once recognized, the trader can make a conscious choice instead of an automatic reaction. This single shift creates more growth than any new trading tool. The second step is reframing. Losses are not failures. Wins are not proof of skill. Both are information. When a trader removes personal meaning from outcomes, they remove the emotional weight that keeps them trapped. The trade becomes a probability, not a judgment of worth. James became consistent only after adopting this mindset. He accepted that discipline is not a feeling. It is a decision made before the trade begins. He treated every trade as a test of process, not ego. His mind stopped swinging between excitement and fear. It settled into clarity. The third step is building resilience. This comes from repetition, reflection, and honest review. A stable mind is trained, not gifted. Each review strengthens awareness. Each decision strengthens identity. Over time, the mental pattern shifts from survival to strategy. Something powerful begins to rise when identity and process start to align. Rewiring your trading identity. A trader cannot outperform the identity they hold inside. If they see themselves as inconsistent, their actions will follow that belief. If they see themselves as desperate for results, their decisions will mirror that urgency. Failure in trading is often the result of an identity that has not been upgraded to match the goals. To change performance, the trader must change who they believe they are when they sit in front of the chart. This shift begins with honesty. A trader must face the stories they repeat in their mind. Stories about being unlucky. Stories about needing one big win. Stories about pressure from family or friends. These stories create emotional weight that influences every decision. When the trader rewrites these stories, the weight begins to lift. James learned this during a difficult period in his journey. He realized he was acting like a trader who feared the market. So he rebuilt his identity. He defined himself as someone who respects risk, follows rules, and remains calm regardless of outcome. Once he anchored that identity, his decisions began to match it. His results improved because his mindset finally aligned with his goals. To rewire identity, a trader must focus on process rather than prediction. They must build habits that reflect the trader they want to become. Review your trades. Follow your plan. Honor your stop. These actions shape your self-image more than any motivational quote. Over time, the mind stops fighting you. It begins to support you. When identity shifts, confidence grows. Not the loud confidence built on wins, but the quiet confidence built on truth. This becomes the foundation of long-term success. A final transformation awaits as the path toward freedom becomes clear. The freedom path. Mental freedom in trading does not come from winning every trade. It comes from understanding yourself so deeply that the market can no longer control your emotions. When a trader reaches this point, the noise becomes quiet. The pressure loses its power. Decisions become calm and intentional. This is the mindset that separates those who fail from those who rise. Most traders fail mentally because they never learn to detach from the outcome. They chase validation, not clarity. They fear losses instead of studying them. They hope for wins instead of committing to discipline. Freedom begins when the trader accepts that the market is not a test of their worth. It is only a reflection of their preparation. Once this truth settles in the mind, the emotional weight that caused so much pain begins to fade. James often reminds others that trading is not a battle against the chart. It is a journey toward self-mastery. Every hesitation, every rush of excitement, and every moment of doubt is a clue. These clues guide the trader toward the person they must become. Growth happens when these clues are followed with honesty and courage. The moral is simple. The mind that once held you back can become the mind that carries you forward. With awareness, discipline, and a clear identity, you can break free from the mental traps that keep most traders stuck. Your growth begins the moment you choose clarity over emotion and process over impulse. Thank you for watching. If this message helped you, make sure to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps this community grow and brings more traders onto the path of mental freedom. If you are ready to understand the deeper patterns that shape your decisions and transform the way you trade, then watch this video titled How to Reset Your Trading Mindset for the New Year. It will help you see the truth behind your habits and guide you toward real improvement.